Good afternoon, Boomi community, and welcome back to wonderful Dallas, Texas. I guess I should be saying yeehaw or howdy, y'all, now that I'm thinking about it. We're here at Boomi World 2025, coming to the end of day one of our 2 days of coverage on theCUBE. My name's Savannah Peterson, bringing you all the excitement with Paul this week. Paul, we've had some giggles, we've had some interesting business stories, we've had some compelling data. I feel like we're going to finish strong with some partnership stories, and I'm
looking forward to it. This is a great one, so let's jump right in.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan and Ramesh, thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, love being back.
Thank you. Dan, it's only been a few minutes since I saw you. A few segments.
At least 30 or so.
Yeah.
I ran across the floor, I came back, thank you, yeah.
Maybe had some barbecue or something.
I guess the last one was okay.
It was good. Well, so I'm going to open up with you, Dan, since you've brought a partner along for the ride here with Ramesh. Tell me a little bit about this partnership, what's going on, and what you've been building together.
Well, so first of all, interesting story about me and Ramesh. Ramesh was my last meeting at my former company before joining Boomi, and it's actually somebody I quizzed about, hey, is this a good idea? You know, should I be going over to these? But he assured me this is a fantastic place for me to be. And because they're actually a customer of Boomi's, and have worked with us for years and years and years before I got here, and now of course after. So I didn't screw that one up.
How fun! So you still got to continue working together.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, super fun for me.
Yeah. So talk to me about what that looks like. What are you working on together?
Well, so we support companies around the world, right, from our technology perspective, and of course, LTIMindtree's technology understanding perspective. So they, one of the premier integrators out of the market, they understand the full landscape of all the technologies companies have to make work to ultimately accomplish the goals that they have for their organizations. And so we love working with them because they understand Boomi, but also because they understand industries, they understand other technologies that we have to integrate with or to bring together and deliver just fantastic value, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
so that's my perspective. Hopefully you agree.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Dan mentioned about this friendship that we've had, other than the partnership between the two companies. And we probably met in, 4 different continents now?
At least 3. I'm not sure what the 4th one is, but No, actually you're right, 4. Okay, there you go.
Cool.
It's also a reflection of how this friendship has also evolved into partnership on the ground. We are a GSI Platinum partner of Boomi, and we take pride in that. We take so much pride in that our tagline is, get set, Boomi.
Okay, I was going to ask because I was staring. I noticed when you sat down, I thought there's no, is that a coincidence? Because there's got to be.
That's for the camera.
I love that. That's actually really fun.
Thank you. So, it's interesting, the friendship obviously is there, right? The partnership is there, so that's really cool. Where does where do you look? Like, I have to bring up Agentic AI because it's like
we haven't talked about it at all.
We haven't talked about it all, so we have to bring it up. But let's talk about Agentic AI. And there's with the partnership you have in place, there's a lot of heritage with Boomi, right? With the integration and the platform and making it all work. And then we get into this new Agentic AI model and all these distributed environments and all these applications that are being modernized and such. What does this mean for your partnership?
Actually, I think the best thing to do would have Ramesh comment on exactly how they're investing around the market in general, because you guys have made a lot, you've put a lot into this, and I'm really impressed with what you have. So
I'll start off. Agentic AI for us is not just the flavor of the season, because we've started about a couple of years back when the progression of generative AI to Agentic AI started to happen. And as a company, we would have invested in the range of about $150 million already into the Agentic AI platform build out. And that's where we found Boomi to be the right partner in that journey, because when you look at Agentic AI, while it is using the capabilities of generative AI underlying, it is also about how do you sense information from different applications, right? And then sense, or your ability to sense and respond becomes a key component of Agentic AI. And there, while the standards are evolving in the form of MCP and A2A, I know I'm using technical jargon here, but these are the standards that are helping in doing agent-to-agent communication and also ensuring that you're able to invoke certain APIs, et cetera. And that's where what Boomi brings to the table becomes extremely, extremely significant. What we've done is of not just stopping there, but solving for, let's say, industry use cases. And if you look at FNOL, as in the first notice of loss, that let's say your car is hit by an accident, and you want to claim insurance, when you call, there are different components of agentic AI, generative AI that get involved there. There is a vision AI, meaning somebody is looking at the car and then trying to assess what the damage could be. There is a voice AI, meaning somebody is calling the contact center, and hence you want agents that can act like human and solve for it. There is brain AI, where, like I said, right, so you do the sensing part of it, but bring it in so that you can do reasoning. And then there is action part of it, where I can invoke an API through Boomi and then get the task done, right? So, and, these are the places where we see tremendous value that Boomi brings to the table.
Yeah, and what's fantastic about really working with Ramesh and LTI is how forward they're thinking. So what they have in their booth to show today is great insurance use cases, but Ramesh was showing me these things a year ago. Right, that it was in their minds.
I love this. You were so ahead of the game.
Amazing.
You were so ahead of the game. You'd already made the investment. You already knew where it was going to make you money.
Exactly right. So as soon as we had the technology available, they're already incorporating it into the business cases and the use cases that they see their customers wanting to produce, real value that customers can achieve right away. And so it's just been awesome for us as soon as we dream up technology, they're already putting it into practice with customers. So it's amazing.
So that's really, really cool, right? But like one of the things that many organizations are talking about right now, right, which is where to hedge their bets. And you hedged your bet early, real early, right? And how did you know? What was the key strategic kind of direction that was like, hey, this is really what we want to do. We want to put all our wood behind this arrowhead because this is really what we want to do, and it's going to grow. That could have been not a great bet, right? But it turned out to be a really great bet. So how did you know? Like, what did you know?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, because we also what happened with Metaverse, and hence this could also have.
Yes, we did. Sorry, that was a very authentic.
Did you have an avatar?
Yeah.
You buy real estate in the Metaverse?
That was a deep cut, Ramesh. I love that. That was just a low key meta shade right there. That was fantastic. But you're so right.
And actually it could have gone in any direction, but our belief was that generative AI, which was good at creation. Your ability to create images, your ability to create videos, your ability to create text probably has to go beyond that to solve for a business problem. Right. And that is where we felt that the capabilities of generative AI only can be brought to the fore if we bring in the other elements of how do you attach voice AI, how do you attach vision AI, how do you attach brain AI, and the action AI part of it. And that is where we thought, these are the elements that can translate into, and by the way, we've invested in a company called voicing.ai, and trust me, you can't make out that it's at the other end of the call, not a human being, and hence it's so natural. It can deal with interruptions like the way humans do. It can do translation live on a call with a latency of less than 500 milliseconds, right? And hence we started looking at these white spaces, investing in. But Boomi and their ability to bring all these together in terms of a marketplace, in terms of a studio, is what helped us in that journey.
Yeah, what's also great about that is that they didn't just rush for the shiny object of the new application, produce agents, generative AI, like many people did.
No, it's kind of refreshing listening to your story right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised you brought him up, Dan.
Go back to the business case, and then also data has to feed that, right? And so they're smart enough to realize that, hey, we have to clean up this data mess that all organizations struggle with, to start peeling back the onion on all of the layers of code that have been built up and calcified over the last 2 decades, right, as applications have been brought to market. And unwind that for customers, get them on a common data foundation, and then of course get them to a place where they can take advantage of all the cool stuff that these guys are dreaming up and creating.
And there's two pieces here though, right? When you look at it, there's the modernization, you put the energy behind building off a platform, but really the big kind of, I think, advantage there is the flexibility. Right. So even though you are kind of building for the future, and this is where, again, a lot of the audience that's watching is like going, well, what do we do? They're looking to these segments to go, how do we make, where do we hedge our bets, right? So the modular approach that you're taking is you're putting a lot of effort behind building something, but it doesn't have to end there, right? So if you're with Boomi, you have the flexibility, right? That's kind of what I was pulling out of what you were talking about. It's like you're going in a direction, you're making your bets, you're saying this is where it's going, but the flexibility behind the system here, behind the build out, is really allowing you to be dynamic and adjust later if you needed to.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. 100%. That's where the agent designer, the agent studio, these components come in, because then you're able to design it as per a specific requirement of a customer. And hence Boomi plays a significant role there. But just to bring back on the data point that Dan mentioned, is the struggle is on quality of data. If your data quality is not good, your agents will not be able to bring in that level of accuracy.
Yeah.
Earlier, we were not able to solve for that problem, but today we're able to solve for that problem because you can actually take a narrow set of data that is clean, good quality, and then superimpose that with synthetic data. Because generative AI today can generate tons of synthetic data that you need for a specific use case, for a specific industry vertical, and that is what we've used to pump into these solutions that I would strongly request both of you also to visit our booth and look at the solutions that we've built on Boomi Stack.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, please do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, they have to visit the booths for the swag too.
There is.
Yeah. Mandatory. I'm still giggling about the metaverse cut. For the record, as an analyst, I did know that was never going to work. I was ready to die on that.
I'm sure I saw your paper on that.
And here we are. That was never going to happen. But you clearly have a knack for finding the right use cases for this, and I would love to expand that a little bit more. What are some of the other very core use cases that you two working together have discovered to achieve the most benefit?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll start first. And we think of the world as very horizontal, right, at Boomi. We produce the technology that ultimately will drive the business that can then be customized and use all the functional knowledge that our partners have. And with LTIMindtree, as not just the data foundation, not just the cool agents, but they are also taking advantage of the control tower capabilities that we've just launched now and will be generally available to the public in 2 weeks. And so they will take all of these use cases. And you mentioned flexibility before. Not only govern all the agents that Boomi has created, or within a control single silo, but look at all the other agents that are going to be deployed across that enterprise, and deploy a platform that's flexible enough to accommodate all of that.
Yeah.
Right? So I know you asked for a very specific use case or industry based, and I'll let you comment on that. But we view this as we want to be as flexible and capable in all of them as possible. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the point that Dan mentioned in terms of one is what can we do with these studios, right? But you can go on design. Two, how do you ensure that there is a marketplace element to people consumption, right? So there is a construct part of it and a consumption part of it. So the focus has been on both with Boomi. The beauty of somebody like a Boomi from a consumption standpoint, and he mentioned the use cases and where Boomi can play a significant role. But I'll give you an example, and Dan did bring out that element that I can today build, let's say, an agent on another platform altogether. So let's say I'm building something on ServiceNow. ServiceNow is a great partner of Boomi.
Sure.
And I have certain agents that I built on Boomi. Think of these agents that are grounded in the foundational knowledge or the LLM of what, let's say, a ServiceNow is running on, to, let's say, a foundational model or an LLM that Boomi is running on. And the agent on ServiceNow has been set a different goal objective to the agent on Boomi has been set a different goal objective. How do you make sure that the overall business objective is what is playing out, and the agent that is controlling these through the control tower is able to ensure that it is for that enterprise context, it is secure, and ensuring that you're able to derive the business outcome is where something like a control tower plays a significant role, because it's going to be complex. It's not easy, it's not just about like an API invocation, so that's where this is big.
Well, especially in distributed environments.
Absolutely.
I mean, you need to have that control center that lets see how everything is working.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's actually kind of fascinating. So this is very well timed for this question, and I gave you a similar version to my closing question earlier today, but I have a different one for you. So ignore this question.
All right.
This is going to you, Ramesh. What do you hope to be able to say when we are at Boomi World 2026 that you can't yet say today?
Okay. At 2026, what I cannot say today is the version of Agentic that probably is able to solve for the different standardization protocol problems that are not for solved today, and then my ability to solve for them and solve for the customers, right? Because standardization still in this space is evolving. Probably 2026 Boomi World, both of us are sitting here and saying that now that the standards are established, specifications there, how are we able to solve it for customers?
Yeah, can I just add one thing to that? I would say one thing I definitely want to say about LTIMindtree is that I'd love for them to be another partner of the year again for us, for all of the internal use, because I know if we do that, we're going to have been successful at many, many clients, continue to proliferate across their own organization, and provide value. Yeah, exactly right. So they are definitely the high watermark for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and Ramesh, I was thinking, since you're so good at predicting the future collectively, I feel like you're very much spot on. But the standardization thing is absolutely the case. And we haven't been having enough conversations about that. They're happening, but it's not. I don't think we've quite gotten there to get up and get the momentum going. Dan, my closing question for you then is what? And now you gotta expand on it.
Because this is what I'm prepared for. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, quite it. So what do you hope to be able to say about your partnership, your continued partnership with LTIMindtree next year that you haven't been able to say, or that you can't yet say today?
Oh yeah. Well, so with all of the great plans they have for in investments they've made in agentic AI and all the cool use cases that they're putting out, frankly, I hope we keep up. Right. I hope I keep delivering the technology that allows all of their dreams to be possible for their customers. Because I know they're thinking at the bleeding edge of what customers want, how they're going to deliver value, how do they help them capture all the cool things that we think AI can do for us, but we haven't really seen in the market yet. And I want to make sure we're delivering the technology that makes that possible, right? And so that's what I hope that we can keep up. And I know that if we do that again, we'll have another Partner of the Year award to put on the mantle. They'll invite me back out to visit them in Bangalore again. And if you haven't been in their facilities, it's amazing. And it's fun. I got to tell you.
Do some swims out there. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I love that. So the key here is to make sure that Ramesh isn't just looking at his clock, being like, "Okay, Dan, ready for you to catch up here, bud. We're ready to rock."
That's right.
I love it. This is a really interesting conversation. Ramesh and Dan, thank you so much for being here.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. And thank all of you for your continued attention through this wonderful journey here in Dallas, Texas at Boomi World 2025. My name is Savannah Peterson. You're watching theCUBE, the leading source for enterprise tech news.